Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Sri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Sri Radhe. Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Sri Radhe. Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva. Jaya Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Oh Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gora Hari Bol. Shri Gonitai ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai Om Vishnupad Param Parajacharya Stotra Sat His Divine Grace Lesi Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai Om Vishnupad Param Parajacharya Stotra Sat His Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada ki Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Namcharya Shri Haridas Thakur ki प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्वेत द्वैता गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्तविंद की श्री श्री राधा कुंड गोप गोविंद श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरी गोवर्धन की श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की श्री नवदीप महापुर धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा मई की यमुना मई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की चैतन्य महाप्रभु की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Namaste Narasimhaya Namaste Narasimhaya Pralaya प्रह्लादलादधायिने हिरण्यकशिपूर्वक्षः शिलटङ्कानखालये एतो नरसिंह परेतो नरसिंह यतो यतो यमि ततो नरसिंह बहिर्नरसिंह हृदये नरसिंह नरसिंहमादिं शरणं प्रपदे तव करकमलवरे नखामद्भुतशृङ्गां दलिता हिरण्यकशिपु तनुभृङ्गां केशवधीर्ता नरहरिरूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे हे केशवधीर्ता नरहरि रूपा जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय जगदीश हरे जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरसिंह देव जय नरहरि जय नरहरि जय नरहरि जय नरहरि जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज जय प्रहलाद महाराज श्री श्री नरसिंह देव भगवान की प्रहलाद महाराज की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल जय
जय राधा माधव जबी Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Braj Yashodanandana Braj Yamuna Radha Madhava Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama. So you have to listen properly. You're going in the wrong tune. I'm not extending my Krishna. Okay, so the first principle of Bhakti Yoga is hearing. So let's hear properly. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Harinam Sankirtan ki jai, Shri Shri Radha Madhav ki jai. Can we hand out Bhagavad Gitas? Thank you, Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Can I get a copy as well? No, these are not Bhagavad Gita. So we'll be reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is. हाँ ये भी चलेगी. So in this book, if you go to page 460, it's chapter 10, the opulence of the absolute, and it is text 9. Macchitta madgat prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mama nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha macchitta madgat prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha macchitta madagat prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha macchitta madagat prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Macchitta madagat prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Macchitta madagat prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Macchitta madagat prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha. Mothers. Macchitta madagat prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Yeah, okay. Macchitta, their minds fully engaged in me. Madgat prana, their lives devoted to me. Bodhayantah, preaching. Parasparam, among themselves. Kathayanta, talking. Cha, also. Mam, about me. Nityam, perpetually. Tushyanti, become pleased. Cha, also. Ramanti, enjoy transcendental bliss. Cha, also. Translation: the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Please repeat. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. So, purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Who would like to read the first paragraph? Yes, Prabhu.
Pure devotees who can't engage themselves fully in the transcendental sacred service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the landscape of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing him with other devotees.
Thank you, Prabhu. Second paragraph. Very well.
In the preliminary stages of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself. And in the mature stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in that transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in his abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to the sowing of a seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities travelling through the different planets of the universe, and out of them there are a few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get the chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahma Jyoti effulgence in the spiritual sky. Shall I go on?
Carry on.
In the spiritual sky, also that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. Gradually, as a plant grows fruits and flowers, that plant of devotional service also produces fruits, and the watering process in the form of chanting and hearing goes on. This plant of devotional service is fully described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, chapter 19. It is explained there that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. Then he cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord.
Haribo. Yes.
The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narrations. The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narrations about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to devotees as stated in the Bhagavatam itself, 12, 13, 18. Srimad Bhagavatam Purnam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, economic development, sense gratification or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. Thus, the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl take pleasure in association.
Jai. So we can turn to introduction. That's page 1 on this book, and we'll read the invocation prayers. Om Agyantimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Yut Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatan Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swamit Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesh Shunyamadi Paschadishta Shri Prabhupada ki jai. So this is a very important verse in Bhagavad Gita. The whole Bhagavad Gita can be summarized in 4 verses. They are called Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita, and this is one of them verses. So chapter 10, text 8, 9, 10 and 11, they summarize the entire Bhagavad Gita. So someone wants to, doesn't have time to read Gita, at least these 4 verses, if you understand properly, then you've understood the whole Bhagavad Gita. Similarly, for Srimad Bhagavatam, also there are 4 verses which summarize the whole Bhagavatam. So here, Krishna is describing a very important aspect of devotional service. He describes the conduct of his devotees. The practitioners of Krishna consciousness, what do they do? That is described. So if we profess to be practitioners of Krishna consciousness, then this is the standard which Krishna expects. So he says, Mat Chitta. Chitta means mind, consciousness. So Mat Chitta means the consciousness of devotees are always in Krishna. So what is consciousness? Consciousness is a very subtle, sukshma, a very subtle aspect. And that consciousness connects the soul to this material body in one way. And therefore we are conditioned. But when the consciousness is not attached to this material body, then we are in liberated state. But that consciousness, whether liberated or whether conditioned, Krishna is saying, is always in Krishna. That consciousness is always attached to Krishna for a devotee. So devotee never thinks of anything else. He sees a bird, he sees, this is Krishna. In the sense, this is created by Krishna. He sees water, I am the taste of water. So he says, oh, this is the taste of Krishna. Like that. So a devotee's consciousness is always attached to Krishna. That is the first characteristic, Mat-chitta. Our consciousness is Laddu consciousness. We see we are always hankering after Laddu. Where is Laddu? Where is sense gratification? Where is something nice to see? Where is something nice to hear? Where is something, nice to taste? Like that, nice to touch. So our consciousness is Laddu consciousness. We are always thinking of Laddu. Now, what our consciousness is, that we are. So according to Patanjali, in his Yoga Sutras, he says, say you go to a sweet shop and you see one sweet there, one laddu there, and you want to eat that laddu. So what happens is, first you become a laddu. Your consciousness, as soon as it thinks of a laddu, becomes laddu, which means you have become that sweet. Then you eat that sweet and then you feel happiness. So whatever your consciousness is, you become that, according to Patanjali. And therefore Krishna says in Gita that whatever you think at the time of death, that state you will attain without fail. And if you think of demigods, you go to the planet of demigods. If you think of spirits, you go to that particular place where spirits are worshipped. But if you think of me, then you can come to Krishna, like that. So the whole game is of consciousness. What is your consciousness? If your consciousness is attached to Krishna, then you have succeeded. If not, then it's useless. So what is Krishna consciousness? Prabhupada was very, very clever, very intelligent, very clever. He called this International Society for Krishna Consciousness, that we have to develop our consciousness in such a way that it becomes attached to Krishna. So what is ISKCON? ISKCON is a movement. ISKCON is an organization which helps us to bring our consciousness to Krishna. At the moment, our consciousness is everywhere. But ISKCON helps us to move it back to Krishna. So when you are coming here, you engage with devotees, you speak to them, then that is the point. We want to bring it back to Krishna. Maybe for 2 hours, 3 hours. We go home, we chant, we read books, we hear something, kirtan or class. Our consciousness for that time is attached to Krishna. And by regular practice, then eventually 24 hours our consciousness will be attached to Krishna. That is the whole point. So the first quality of a devotee is Mat-chitta. Then Mad-gata prana. Their lives are naturally devoted to Krishna's service. If we are attached to Krishna, then naturally consciousness is Krishna, so actions will also be in Krishna consciousness. Then bodhayanta parasparam. So devotees discuss Krishna with each other. Whatever is in your mind, that is what you want to talk about. So if you are thinking about Krishna, then you will talk about Krishna. Kathayantascha mam nityam. And they enlighten each other, they talk about each other, like that. So discussion means 2 devotees come together, they talk about Krishna. And bodhayanta means preaching. When we meet someone who is not in Krishna consciousness, we tell them about Krishna so that they can come to this platform. And what is the effect? Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. That they are, one, satisfied, and also they are very happy. 2 things, satisfied and happy. Very rare to see someone who is satisfied in this world. People are always hankering. Because devotees are always in Krishna consciousness, they are satisfied. They don't need anything else. And they are happy. Like that. So this is the nature of devotees. Come together, talk about Krishna, enlighten others about Krishna consciousness, think about Krishna, serve Krishna, and then you become satisfied and happy. So that is all ISKCON is about. we are trying to make people happy. I'm just coming out of management meeting. Over there it may not have seemed like that. But that is also an essential aspect of Krishna consciousness. To run the temple so that devotees are engaged in katha, kirtan and prasadam. A lot of background things happen. So few devotees, deal with that. So that when all of you come to the temple, then people are happy. You are coming here, you are thinking of Krishna, you become satisfied. And when you leave the doorstep, that is always what we have said, that the success of management is that when devotees are leaving the temple, they are very happy that we had a good time here, we got something out of it. So that is Krishna consciousness. So sometimes what happens is our life becomes a bit static. Daily we get up in the morning, we chant our rounds, and then we read, we preach. That is also blissful. But sometimes we need to supercharge it. Sometimes we need to give it a boost to make it more intense, more pleasurable. So that is what we did this Easter gone. We went for a retreat. Retreat means to go back. So we're constantly fighting the material world. So we took a step back. We said no more fighting for the 4 days of Easter. We'll go to ISKCON Scotland, the Hare Krishna community over there, and we will just absorb ourselves in Krishna consciousness. So that is what I'm going to describe and show you some pictures and videos as well about the retreat. How many of you came for the retreat? So we decided to go to ISKCON Scotland because for the last 2-3 years we've never been out because of COVID regulations. We didn't even have temple programs. We were coming here with masks on. We were taking takeaway prasadam rather than eating here. We had online classes, but online classes are, at least in my opinion, they are not the same as coming here and associating with devotees. I felt a big shock when it was Narsim Chaturdashi in 2020, and for the first time in my Krishna consciousness, I was not in a temple on that day. So I felt very sad, and that's when it really hit me what the restrictions are doing. So anyway, this time we thought, restrictions have eased. Let's go to let's have a retreat. So we went to ISKCON Scotland. The only restriction they had was they had accommodation for 34 devotees. So they said only 34 will be allowed as per the guidelines at the time. So we went there. And in my mind, I had this particular concept about a 4-day retreat. So, in Chaitanya Leela, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he took sannyas, he went to Jagannath Puri. He stayed there. As per the desire of his mother, he stayed in Jagannath Puri. So, devotees in Navadvip Mayapur, they used to feel a lot of pain that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has left them and they cannot see him any longer. So, 4 months of the year, during Chaturmas, they would go from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri and they would associate with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was the original retreat of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. 4 months in a year, they would go and just reside with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. And they would have so many pastimes. They would have water pastimes in Nandan Sarovar. They would have Rath Yatra festival at the time. They would carry a lot of foodstuffs for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. One of them, Raghav Pandit, his sister used to prepare a lot of dry prasadam for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he used to carry big baskets. We've seen those baskets when we went to Panihati. There were big baskets, and they were all full with various things which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would like. And those baskets are called Raghavera Jhola. And he would take them, and then Mahaprabhu would taste those bhoga items for the duration of 4 months. A lot of pastimes were happening. So Radhanath Swami, he also has a 4-day retreat in Pune. I don't know if it is still going on, but for many years I attended those retreats. So I always thought that for Manchester also we should have 4-day retreats. And Easter is a good time, we get 4-day bank holidays. And previously we've been to Lake District, and we've also been to ISKCON Scotland many years ago for a retreat. So this time we thought we'll go to ISKCON Scotland. So this is Srila Prabhupada in the temple in ISKCON Scotland. 34 devotees came there. Actually there were a few more. So our Shailesh Prabhu, he came for one overnight. So there was one additional family who came there. So they have these deities. The one in the yellow dress is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They call him Mayapur Shashi. Mayapur means the place where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Shashi means moon. So the moon of Mayapur, that's the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu over there. And in green is Lord Nityananda. His name is Khoda Nitai. Khoda means broker. So that name comes from a song of Bhakti Vinod Thakur, where he says that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu may be the giver of the holy name. He has opened the treasure house of the holy name. But the person who is actually giving it to you is Nityananda. He is the broker. He is the middleman. So we cannot approach Mahaprabhu directly. We may not approach the Lord directly. But we can approach the Lord through his incarnation as spiritual master, as Guru. So Nityanand Prabhu, the original Guru, he is called Khoda Nitai over here. So you have Khoda Nitai and then Mayapur Shashi. And then you have these two beautiful deities over there. So this one is Giridhari Shila, Girdhari Lal. So this is a stone from Govardhan Hill, which is being worshipped there. And then we have Tulsinath, who is a Shalagram Shila over there. So this is the main altar. So you have Prabhupada on the right hand side of the altar, and then you have Khoda Nitai, Mayapur Shashi, Girdhari Lal, and Tulsinath ji over there. So there is Garudji outside. I'll show you one particular devotee. You see this devotee here in saffron? Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu. So he was the devotee I was liaising with for organizing this retreat. And he gave us beautiful stories about these deities. So he said that these Khoda Nitai, Mayapur Shashi deities were originally in California. And for some reason they sold the temple, and therefore these deities needed to move elsewhere. And at that time this ISKCON Scotland was led by a particular devotee, Balbhadra Puri Maharaj. So they approached him and he said, yes, we would accept the deities, we would accept the service of the deities. So that's how they came here. Now this particular Maharaj was also very attached to Govardhan. There is a temple there in Govardhan. Even now when you go for parikrama, between just on the banks of Kusum Sarovar, there is a temple of forgetting the name. There is a temple of Radha Krishna over there, which is worship, small temple. It's not a big, maybe 1/3 the size of this room. And an old couple used to worship those deities for many years. And Puri Maharaj was attached to those Brijvasis. So Girdhari Shila, Govardhan Shila, you cannot just pick up and bring. You have to take permission of Brijvasis. Of course, Prabhupada said that ISKCON devotees, they can always worship Govardhan Shila. But they took permission of these Brijvasis, and that's how they got Girdhari Shila. And then there is Tulsinath, who is a Shaligram Shila. So in this temple, at one point, there were 12,000 Shaligram Shilas. Shaligram Shilas are incarnation of Lord Vishnu, and they come from Gandaki river in Nepal. So in Jagannath Puri, there are 100,000 Shaligram Shilas. So their Maharaj, he had a desire that we should also have 100,000 Shilas. So they went around and they started collecting a lot of Shilas. Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu was saying that when they were bringing this particular Tulsinath Shila, then the customs people stopped them. And they said, what is this? And then suddenly they said, okay, you can go. So they saw that as a desire of the Lord, that the Lord wants to come here. So there were no objections. So Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu, one of our Matajis asked him that, tell us some pastimes about the deities. Okay. So he said that Girdhari Shila, when Krishna lifted Govardhan hill, he was around 7 years of age. So, Hare Krishna. So they always wondered, what is the age of this Tulsinath? If Girdhari Lal is 7 years, what is the age of Tulsinath? So what they used to do was, they used to put some toys before Girdhari Lal for him to play. 7-year-old boy, they like to play with toys. So they noticed that these toys would shift towards Tulsinath in the morning. So they would leave the toys overnight. In the morning, they would shift towards Tulsinath. So they realized that, Tulsinath is also a small boy who wants to play with these toys. So they started offering toys to both of them, like that. Do you see this particular thing over here? That's a ball they have kept for Tulsinath, like that. So they also, so now they know Tulsinath is also a young boy over there. So we heard these beautiful pastimes. Just outside the temple is Lord Garud Dev and his younger brother Arun. Arunji. So Garud Dev, he is a devotee of the Lord. He is a very interesting devotee. One day maybe I can narrate his pastimes. He is one devotee who actually, devotees are very humble. But some devotees are also very assertive. Like Bhishma Dev, for example. Garudji is also very assertive. And he took a benediction from Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu gave him a benediction that you will become my carrier. So, my feet will always rest on you. So Garudji said that if you want to put your feet on me, then you have to give me another benediction. So Lord Vishnu said, what? So he said that outside each of your temple would be a Garud Stamba. There would be a pillar on which I will sit. And the height of my pillar will be the same as that of your Simhasan, as that of your throne. Generally devotees, they say we would like to be at your feet, but Garudji, same level. Because your feet is already on me, so I can still sit at the same level. So if you go to especially South Indian temples, Rameshwaram, Ranganath temple, Kanchipuram, Varadaraj temple in Kanchipuram, you will find that there is a big Garud Stamba outside. Why is it so big? Because the temples are on hills, most of them. So they put a Garud Stamba outside the temple, which is at the same level as that of the Simhasan. And you offer obeisances to the Garud Stamba outside. You don't offer obeisances in the temple, in South Indian temples, because that's considered Vaikuntha Lok. So you don't show your feet to anyone over there. So you offer obeisances outside. And that's his younger brother, Arun. So Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu told us that they found these deities in one store in Edinburgh. And this is the way these deities are carved in Nepal. It's a Nepal style carvation. And then they found these deities over there, and one family gifted it to the temple. So that's how these Garudji and Arun are sitting outside. They've made a nice, temple for them. You can take darshan outside. And then these are those. There were 12,000 Shaligram Shilas, but now there are only 2,000. Because of the standard of worship, they have given it to various devotees over there. So these are various Shaligram Shilas. They have a deity of Vrinda Devi. So this deity came about in a very unique way. Again, Puri Maharaj, he was supporting Vrinda Kund in Nandagaon. In Brajdham, in Nandagaon, in the village of Krishna, they have Vrinda Kund. Vrinda Tulsi Devi, she's one of the principal assistants of Radharani. All the pastimes in Brajdham are orchestrated by her. She has an entourage of parrots. You see a parrot in her hand? So she has thousands of parrots. They go out in the early morning. They check out what's happening everywhere in Vrindavan. They report, hey Vrinda Devi, this is the weather like in Yamuna. This is the weather like in Govardhan. This is what Jatila Kutila are doing. This is what Krishna is doing. They give all the information. Then Vrinda Devi says, okay, Krishna, you wear this color dress. Radharani, you wear this color dress. Today you will be meeting in this particular grove. Today this pastime will be happening. So that is the role of Vrinda Devi. And in this world, she appears as Tulsi Devi. She incarnates as Tulsi. Therefore we worship Tulsi Devi. So Vrinda Devi, when Puri Maharaj helped Vrinda Kund ISKCON temple construction over there, then they gave Vrinda Devi this deity as a gift to them. Then they have Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu, with various universes. So they all three are in the same room. The Shaligram, the Vrinda Devi deity, and Vishnuji, they are in the same room. It's called Vishnu Lounge. And so Raghunath Bhatta Prabhu, he took us on a tour on the first day. In the afternoon, we reached there in the afternoon. We had lunch prasadam, took some rest. 4 o'clock he took us outside, and we were having kirtan. This is outside. This is the temple over there. You see this? This is the entrance of the temple. Outside this is Lord Garud Dev. So we are doing kirtan in front of Lord Garud Dev. Then we went into the Vishnu Lounge, where we have Vrinda Devi, Shalagram Shila, and Vishnuji. And we did some, he explained to us the stories over there. And then we did a kirtan. So all devotees, this was our first kirtan in the retreat in Vishnu Lounge. So we all had an ecstatic kirtan. I'll show you some videos as well. Vrinlal Prabhu was leading this kirtan. Some more clips over there. So this is the morning program. We attended, next day we attended the morning program. 4:30 in the morning. So it was very interesting. There were some rooms where there were 6 devotees staying. Some Matajis, 6 Matajis staying. Pandav Sena people, 6 of them staying in a room. And yet everyone was getting ready and coming for Mangal Aarti. It was really nice. See, that's a retreat. We may not be able to come Mangal Aarti in ISKCON Manchester. We have those programs every Saturday, and first and third Saturday we have like a proper full program with class and prasadam. So you're most welcome, and we don't start at 4:30, we start at 5, so everyone's welcome. But I, for example, because of Arna and her sleeping pattern, I can't come for Saturdays in ISKCON Manchester. But over there, I told Supriya that 4 days I will be going for morning program, you come late. So I could attend over there. It was really nice. That's a proper spiritual boost that I'm talking about. At 4:30 to 9, proper morning program. Sorry, so we've seen this video. So they had morning Aarti, then we had Tulsi Puja over there. And after Tulsi Puja, we had a Japa session. This is our Pandav Sena group with a devotee there, Pit Prabhu. They were circumambulating the photograph of Tulsi and doing japa in the morning. Then after the morning program, after the japa session, there was welcoming of deity. That photograph is also there. And then we would have Bhagavatam class. So this is the welcoming of deity. They would put on fresh shringar, and then we would have the Bhagavatam class. So we had some really ecstatic kirtan there in the morning program. Oops. What happened? We had some really ecstatic kirtan over there. Even the Scottish devotees, they were very happy that we had some really nice kirtan over there. So these are the Matajis. They are doing dancing in front of the deities in slow motion. They were really fast. So, just to match up, we also have Prabhus who are doing really nice kirtan over there. Sorry, not very good with PowerPoints. Yeah, so that's our Prabhujis who are dancing wildly. Like that. Okay. So anyway, after the morning program, we would have breakfast, and then we would on the first day, this is Javatvasi Prabhu. They have an eco farm over there. So they have their heat pump, they have woodlock fire, they have a windmill, they do a lot of organic farming, they've got farm animals. So Javatvasi Prabhu, he took us on a trip, on a tour, explaining, how they were doing things. They also have 2 farm animals which have been donated recently. Alpaca. Alpaca, correct? Alpaca. And so someone donated them. They get wool from these particular animals. I was told the animals were very shy, but all our devotees, when they went there, they were accepting food from them. Like this. One of them is called Gaura, and another is called Balram. Like that. Then this is lunch prasadam. So we had fantastic prasadam all 4 days. One of the advantages was that they were cooking prasadam for us. And so we would go, we would take prasadam. Devotees would chit-chat, And then one day, Sunday, they asked us to cook prasadam. So we went into the kitchen, some of us, and we had a nice time. Their kitchen standards were so high. They cook for the deities, they use only ghee. But they also had some vegan guests coming. So we had to cook some items twice that day. But it was really nice. We enjoyed cooking that day. And then, of course, the best was the drama. So we had a lot of dramas over there in the evening. This is a Sakshi Gopal drama. Then this is a video that is a must. Wait, let's see if we can enter. Oops, I can still show you that video. Yeah, this one. So we had a lot of fun over there, as you can see. There were a lot of dramas going on. I thought this was like a iconic photograph. This is Lord Yamraj, our Dinesh Prabhu. And then this was the crew that day for that particular drama. Radha Vinod Prabhu led this. I thought I will also, even though I wasn't part of the drama, I thought no harm in having a photograph like this. A lot of, you can see the smile and the happiness of devotees. When you come together, Krishna is saying, Tushyanti cha ramanti cha. This is a good example. Everyone is satisfied, everyone is happy. We had quiz led by Sumedha Prabhu, and there were prizes. Third group won. It was very interesting. We played games. We had musical chair for Matajis. Then we had for Prabhus as well. So we had a lot of fun. We also had some serious discussions. So Dhokshaj Krishna Prabhu, he gave us a class on chanting the holy names, which was very well received by all the devotees. Devotees would sit there, there was, no material things to be done. Gaurnath Raj Prabhu, his mobile battery died off. He didn't even charge it up. He said, forget it. No material world means no material world, nothing. Just as our consciousness connects us to either Krishna or material world, mobile phone connects us to the outside world. He said, let it die. We had, again, a lot of kirtan was there. Plenty of kirtan. The process for this age is Harinam. So we had a lot of kirtan. Just conscious about time, so I won't show you a lot of videos. Devotees were ecstatic, just forgetful of themselves. Pandav Sena, they led all the kirtans. On the last day, as a thanksgiving gesture, we gave them this book, Damodar Janani, to all the senior devotees over there. So here we have Adokshaj Krishna Prabhu with his wife, and then we have Javatvasi Prabhu with his wife. And we exchanged, we expressed our gratitude, and they were also very joyful because they could see, we were doing lots of kirtan, and there was exemplary Vaishnava etiquette all throughout the retreat. So we thanked them on the last day, and this is our group photograph from the last day. Some devotees have already left. They left a bit early before the group photograph could be taken. So we had a nice time in ISKCON Scotland. Last Saturday, we had a picnic in Heaton Park. Again, 43 devotees were there. We took some prasadam and we went there. It was a spontaneous thing, not much preparation beforehand. But we went there and we again had Harinam Sankirtan. Yes, Prabhu.
Dinesh Prabhu posted a video in the group. We want to show you about Karnabhav. He posted a video.
Acha, Prabhu, I don't have internet connect.
He just posted.
Okay. So this is, Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness is not dry, it is not heavy, it is not impractical. It's very enjoyable. And the more time and effort we give to it, the more blissful, the more intense it becomes. These 4 days, whoever were there, we were all so blissful. In fact, on the last day, I felt a bit sad coming back. And it was very cheap as well. For most of the devotees, the costs did not come to more than 60-80 pounds for the whole retreat, including prasadam, accommodation, everything. The accommodation was also quite good in my opinion. It was quite comfortable. Very rarely we were in the accommodation during daytime. Maybe after afternoon prasadam people would go to take some rest. But otherwise we were constantly, associating, socializing, discussing about Krishna consciousness. So that verse, I would just like to read the translation again. And you can see that how going for these spiritual retreats actually gives us a better understanding of that verse. So the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Only we were thinking of Krishna at the time. Their lives are fully devoted to my service. We were not doing anything else. And they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. That's all what we do. Katha, Kirtan, Prasad. That's all what we did. So I would actually welcome all the devotees that we will be planning more outdoor events, we'll be planning more retreats. We are thinking of doing a Japa retreat when it is on 2nd of June, hopefully. On the bank holiday Thursday, still yet to formalize. If the weather is good on a Saturday, you might get a message in the group saying we are planning a picnic, come along. And it would be nice to come together and enjoy with devotees. It's like that. Who all want to participate in retreats or activities like that? Everyone, isn't it? Everyone. In fact, Gaurnath Raj Prabhu was saying, this retreat is so joyful, it has really made me enthusiastic. Bandhu, you should organize more retreats like this. And I thought that's the success. If devotees are happy with this endeavor, then it's so nice. So we'll plan more events like this. We always have festivals in the temple. Narsimha Chaturdashi is next Sunday. Coming Sunday. So again, that's a nice opportunity to come together and participate. And then we will have Rath Yatra, Manchester Rath Yatra coming on 31st of July. We will be forming a focus group from May onwards, where different devotees can join just to help in organizing that event. Someone can take charge of prasadam, someone can do decoration, someone can do winding up services like that. So all these are opportunities to come together and engage in Krishna consciousness. So I would like to end my class here by thanking all the devotees, especially Srila Prabhupada, for introducing us to Krishna consciousness in such a practical and blissful way. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanandi, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No problem.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for being with us today. And let's give a round of applause to His Grace Dinabandhu Prabhu. For a wonderful presentation and also for all his hard work for this retreat. So we were like a guest there. We didn't do anything. So Prabhuji had managed everything behind the scenes. He did all the legwork. And we just went there and had a very good time. It's also Krishna's arrangement that this wonderful lady, Sylvia, so she was, we met Mataji in Scotland. And she's here today. Did you love the presentation? It's so nice. It's Krishna's arrangement, I think, that we made this presentation when you're here. So wonderful. I've got a couple of very quick announcements. Next Sunday is a special day, appearance of Lord Narasimhadev. Lord Narasimhadev is off lion, off man incarnation of the Lord. You can see he's there on the altar as well. So he appeared on this day, Sunday. So yeah, we are having a usual Sunday program that day, starting from 12:30, and we serve prasadam at usual time. I know the breakfast time is not until twilight, but we didn't want to disturb the normal Sunday routine so that the devotees will get confused. So prasadam will be served at usual time, and however those who are not taking prasadam, who would like to take prasadam in the evening, can take away prasadam in the boxes. So that's about Sunday. Are we planning a drama? Still planning a drama? So we have a new drama director now. he's replacing our Radha Vinod Prabhu. Just for that day. So we are planning to have a little drama as well. And we have a very special event planned for this coming Saturday, 14th. Our dear devotees, can you please kindly raise your seat? Shashi Mataji and Anuradha Mataji will be getting initiated on Saturday, 14th May. So a special event, special ceremony is planned for that day starting from 10 a.m. So we will have lecture, kirtan lecture, initiation ceremony, and our priest Ananda Rupa will be performing fire sacrifice, fire yajna, and at around 12:30ish we're planning to have lunch prasadam. Prabhupada disciple, His Grace Kratu Prabhu with his good wife will be with us on the 14th as well as on the 15th, 2 days. So he visited our temple many times in the past. And Kratu Prabhu will be initiating these two wonderful devotees. So on behalf of them, I would like to request all the devotees to kindly attend this ceremony. It's an open invitation to everyone. And please be there and give them encouragement, give them support, and give your blessings. So let's show your hands if you would like to attend this program on Saturday. See, wow, so many. Wonderful. Starting from 10 o'clock in the morning. Yes. So that's about Saturday. So 2 days will be busy for us. Saturday, initiation ceremony. Sunday, festival, Narsimha Chaturdasi, or the appearance of Lord Nrsimhadev. Those are the two announcements from my side. Is anybody coming for the first time or coming after a long time? I know Sylvia is here. Would you like to introduce yourself, Sylvia?
Sylvia, I was at the retreat place volunteering for a few weeks, and then I met everyone there, and yeah, first time here, I'm enjoying it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Is anyone else coming for the first time?
Yeah, my name is Virendra Kanak, and just second week in UK, so yeah.
Second week in UK, already in Manchester, ISKCON Manchester. You're not wasting any time.
So yeah,
Hare Krishna. You're going to be here for some time? Good. Anyone else? Have I seen you before?
yeah, 3 weeks now.
3 weeks now.
So I came the first week when I landed here in Manchester.
First week itself. Wonderful. Okay, let's welcome these three devotees in the formal way. Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Hari Bol! Anything else? Okay, so now we will have standing kirtan for 30 minutes, and then we will take prasadam, sanctified food, in the back garden. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol.
ओम विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधारा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा बोलो बोलो कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे बोलो हरे कृष्णा बोलो 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Once again, all together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Make some noise. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Jai Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Ananta Koti Vaishya Vrinda ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. हरि नाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की
जय विष्णुपाद परम परजचार्य स्तोत्र सत इस डिवाइन गेस्ट ऐसी भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय विष्णुपाद परम परजचार्य स्तोत्र सत हिज डिवाइन गेस्ट भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णविंद की नामचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री द्वैता गदाधर शिवासरी गौर भक्तविंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की श्री मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की श्री नवदीप मायापुर धाम की जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की गंगा मई की यमुना मई की तुलसी देवी की भक्ति देवी की कलियुग पावन हरिनाम संकीर्तन की ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की सामवेद भक्तविंद की पंचतत्व की श्री श्री गौर निताय की श्री श्री राधा गोकुलानंद की श्रील प्रभुपाद की all glories to simul devotees all glories to simul devotees all glories to simul devotees all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga.
नमो ब्राह्मणे वैष्णवे स्वल्प पुण्यव्रतम राजन विश्वशून्य वृजायते सारिदार विद्याजार जनेन्द्रियात हि काल जीवे फले विषय सागरे तार मध्य जीवायति लोभ मस धुर्मति ताकि जाए कठिना संसारे कृष्ण बड़ा दयामय कोरी बार जीव जाए स्वाप्रसादन दिलो भाई शय नाम अमृत पाओ श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गुण गाओ प्रेम कोई श्री चैतन्य निताय जय निमाय जय निताय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्री वसादि गौर भक्ता वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे श्री गौर नित्यानंद महाप्रसादम की जय भगवत महाप्रसादम की जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे behind in the prasadam is served in the garden behind the temple. Just FYI.